We're going to introduce you to our signal token protocol, where we're basically decentralizing the exchange between advertisers and other actors in the attention markets. Now, to fully appreciate how this works, you have to understand attention markets. At the most fundamental level, attention markets consist of four actors. The first actor is advertisers. Advertisers are those who are willing to buy attention from the general public. Second actor is going to be publishers. These are the attractors of attention. They generate content and contribute it to unique media platforms, thus driving attention to said media. Thirdly, you have viewers. Viewers are basically the raw commodity. They are the ones who provide the attention that advertisers are so often willing to pay for. Finally, you have content curators. Content curators are those who share content. Imagine if you found like a YouTube video that you really liked and you shared the link on your Facebook page. You are acting as a content curator by driving views to that content. Now, logically, it would make sense that if an advertiser wanted to buy attention to sell their product, they would buy it directly from these other actors within the attention economy. They would buy it directly from the content publisher or the viewer or the content curators who share content. But that's not how things operate today. Rather, when an advertiser wants to buy attention, they have to go through a broker, like a Google, YouTube, or Facebook. Now, for brokering this process, these intermediary centralized entities take a huge cut in fees and are also the ones managing all the data, etc., which creates a generalized inherent trust barrier. And this is basically where we introduce signal tokens, which is our token protocol to basically decentralize this process.
So Nick just demonstrated the problem that's currently going on in the attention market ecosystem. We are introducing the signal token protocol, which is going to be a decentralized open source protocol which connects advertisers directly to the users of attention markets, such as viewers, creators, and curators, through the use of smart contracts. Now, the way that we're going to do this is we are creating an ecosystem where advertisers can come in, create their ad campaign as normal, target it as normal, and when they go to create that, it will be funded with signal tokens. Signal tokens will then be distributed to viewers, creators, and curators who monetize their videos in whatever relevant media-based attention market that they are taking part in. This protocol will be available for anybody to build upon, but ultimately it is being demonstrated through our first use case.
Yeah, so real quick, just to fill out some notes about this, here where you see the 10% and 5%, 65%, 20% cuts, these are all conditions that an advertiser can customize when initiating an ad campaign smart contract. So if an advertiser wants to run an ad campaign on a certain media platform, they would initiate a smart contract and set the conditions for that smart contract wherein they determine this is how many signal tokens go to a viewer or content creator or curator based on the attention driven to that content. So this is just an example of what can be done, but an advertiser can set those conditions however they like for whichever platform they're targeting. So to basically describe, I guess, some general features and like characteristics of the token platform, this platform is an open source protocol, meaning that it is intended for use by media platforms outside of the platform that we're about to introduce. This means a number of things. We provide a universal advertising database, etc. These are just kind of the general notes which you can find in our white paper and things like that. Now, we're going to introduce to you guys Spectiv. Generally, a token protocol like this sounds fantastic in theory, but is often faced with a huge challenge when introduced to the real world, which is who are going to be the early adopters? Who are actually going to provide the utility and volume for the token being used in effectively application?
Yeah. So Spectiv is a virtual reality video streaming platform that we are building, basically building a dedicated niche platform for the VR industry. Within this platform, we have a number of types of content, as demonstrated through a demo that we have here. The types of content we will have are going to be user-to-user content, which would be basically anybody out there with virtual reality cameras, 360 cameras, able to upload experiences that they create. On top of that, we'll have live events, so things like sporting events and concerts and things of that nature in the virtual reality industry. And then Spectiv original content, which will be content published by us but voted on by holders of Signal tokens. So users within the Signal token ecosystem will be able to vote on what content will be created within this platform. Now you see in the video, we have a couple partners already in the VR space. We're working with AirPano, who is a award-winning virtual reality experience creator. They create experiences like flyovers of natural wonders, waterfalls, things like that, as well as natural city walkthroughs. We have a couple other partners in the VR space, and that is one focus that we are working on right now, is driving content to our platform.
Yeah, and to kind of expand on this, what's really powerful about us being an actual early adopter of the token protocol that we're creating is that we're really providing the foundational layer on which other media platforms can build upon. As mentioned before, huge challenge with tokens like this is who's going to actually use it, who's going to generate the first real-world data such that other platforms can build upon it, and that's where we come in as Spectiv. We are the creator of the Signal token protocol, as well as the initial adopter of that protocol.
All right, now getting into a little bit about the token sale that we're doing. So we ran a pre-sale, which ran from August 28th to September 4th. We ended up bringing in about 3,500 Ethereum, some Bitcoin, and some USD. And the thing about this pre-sale is that being based in the US, we worked with our consulting/legal firm Sutton Stone to manage this pre-sale. It was entirely KYC, AML compliant. Every buyer in this agreed to a SAFT agreement. We had OFAC checks on all of them. And further, this pre-sale was audited by Baker Tilly, a top 10 global accounting firm, who audited every transaction of the pre-sale as well as the pre-sale process.
Right, we ran a really holistic pre-sale process. We're entirely KYC compliant. We have an entity in the United States as well as Mauritius, which is, I guess, kind of formally taking steps towards becoming the crypto island as far as ICO legal acknowledgement goes. But pre-sale process was done really well, and now we're going to be stepping into a crowd sale in the December time, which we'll kind of detail later.
All right, so getting into the token sale details, our token sale will be December 8th until December 29th. We are releasing Signal tokens in this sale with a hard cap of 40 million in the token sale event. Now, the total token supply will be determined based on how many tokens are actually sold. So we can't give a token supply yet. It'll be based on how much is raised in the pre-sale, private buying period, as well as the token sale. Now, with that in mind, we are doing a limited sale right now for private buying opportunity. If you're interested in that, you can talk to us at booth 36. And then we'll have a priority sale period, which will be for our current email subscribers, and that will be probably a day or two before the actual crowd sale launches, at which point on December 8th we will launch that with a number of early bonuses and such based on where we are in the funding period.
So just a quick introduction to our team before our time wraps up. We've got backgrounds in all different kinds of areas, but one thing that we really like to talk about is that we're all local. We have an office space in Houston directly across from Sutton Stone, our crypto consultants. It's really a fantastic kind of dynamic. We encourage any of you, if you're in town, come by, visit us. We'll be uploading kind of some media and things to kind of introduce you to everybody on the team, but it's overall a fantastic team. And then also just would like to briefly introduce you to our advisors, additional contributors, etc. I think Dylan can detail them a little bit.
So, as you can see, we have a couple of advisors. These are advisors from Sutton Stone. On top of that, we have some additional contributors who we worked with throughout the initial stages of this process, one being Ned Scott from Steemit, and Joe Ergo, who ended up starting District 0x. Further, we're running an escrow with a multi-sig wallet, which will be operated in partner with Sutton Stone and in partner with CoinVault ATM. The way this escrow will work is that we will have the funds managed in that multi-sig wallet, which will then be released to us according to certain milestones that are hit in the development of the platform. Before we end our presentation, I just wanted to touch on a couple of notes. So as we mentioned, we ran our pre-sale at the beginning of this month, raised about 4,000 Ethereum worth of dollars. But what we were able to do with that was significantly accelerate our timeline, right? So from the pre-sale, we've already hired 3 additional developers, as well as set up our offices in Houston, Texas, where we're based. And we've been able to accelerate that development timeline to where we're going to have the alpha for this platform released in the first week of November, and a version 2 of that alpha in the first week of December, directly before the crowd sale launches.
So additionally, last thing I would like to add is just, I know it can maybe be a little bit confusing, so I just kind of want to outline it again really simply. Spectiv is a virtual reality streaming platform that is creating the Signal token protocol. We will be the first adopters of that protocol. But that protocol is not fixed to the Spectiv platform. it can be adopted and used by media platforms far outside of Spectiv, such that if, in theory, Spectiv was to fail years from now, this token is its own autonomous protocol which other platforms can build upon and grow. So if that makes sense, I'm happy. If not, please go and speak to us at our booth. Again, crowd sale on December 8th. Let us know if you want any details. Visit our website at spectivvr.com to learn more about the platform and the token. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.